Welcome to another one of my shitty videos. It is currently 3:28 in the morning. I couldn't go to sleep and I needed to finish this video. I've had to redo this video at least 5 different times now, and I'm hoping that I don't get interrupted this time. But before I really get into it, I want to say that I love Rust. Rust is one of my favorite survival games, if not just one of my favorite games. I've put it up there in like the top 10. There's just no game really like it out there that can capture the same aesthetic, the same feel, like how everything is made out of garbage and scrap metal. Just the way it looks, the way it feels, the way it plays. There's really nothing like it. There's nothing that can capture the way Rust is. There's nothing that can really compare to it. So I'd say this is somebody who wants to see Rust prosper or see Rust. Excuse me. I want to see Rust stay going strong. All right. In my Overwatch video, I'm very pessimistic about it because there is no saving Overwatch now. With Blizzard being in a bunch of lawsuits, with the player base being practically non-existent now, everybody pretty much left. The game being in an unbalanced state, it being geared towards a competitive play style. It's just there's no saving Overwatch, but there is saving Rust. All right. And with my first reason why I don't enjoy Rust at the moment is the number one reason why most people don't, and it's the kill on site. All right, that's the number one issue with Rust. So, in most people's minds, if you're out in the wild and it's a doomsday apocalypse shit, if you're out in the wild and you see another human being, your number one instinct isn't to go fucking murder them. It's to hide from them, alright? You're not gonna go try and fucking kill them unless you have 15 other people backing you up, alright? The number one instinct is to try and avoid confrontation as much as possible, alright? But with the sociopaths that play Rust, no, they'd rather fucking kill you. And that's the number one big issue with Rust, is that you get killed on sight no matter what. If you have resources, if you don't, alright? And there's multiple reasons why the kill on sight mentality is there, and I'll explain them later. But the number one excuse, or the number one biggest problem with kill on sight, is when it comes to people who have just spawned nakeds, people who literally have the basic tool, which is a fucking rock. All right, they do not pose a threat. I don't care who you are. If you get killed by a fucking naked with a rock, you suck at the fucking game. All right. If you consider somebody with a fucking rock and torch that has no clothes, no armor, a threat, you suck. You suck ass. All right. If you can't deal with them with at least a water pipe shotgun, you probably shouldn't be playing fucking Rust. All right. But there's literally zero excuses at all. Zero excuses to kill a fucking naked on sight. At best, you can give them warning. You'd be like, hey, fuck off, or I'll kill you. Alright? Give them a fucking warning. But there's no logical benefit to killing a fucking naked, because not only do you waste ammo doing it, but you also alert people to your fucking location. You waste ammo. You create a new enemy. And overall, there's just no benefit for you. You don't even gain any resources out of it. I mean, at best, you might get a fucking some wood and stone. Not a lot of it, because they just fucking spawned. Like, there's no foreseeable benefit to killing nakeds on site, and that's the number one issue I have with kill on site. Really, is I can understand if you kill people on site, if they have like a gun on them or they have clothes on them or something. That I can understand, because they probably have something worthwhile taking from them, alright? But a naked who just spawned into the game will have fucking nothing of value on them. You have no excuse to kill them, and the only excuse I've actually seen, or the only two excuses I've seen for killing nakeds, is the first one, and is the most common and doesn't really ever happen, is that the naked will spy on you. They'll follow you back to your base and they'll door camp you, or they'll spy on you for a clan and they'll go tell their clan about it. I've never had that happen to me. I never in my entire 4 years of playing Rust, 4 years of modern Rust, and I think a year of Legacy. But my 4 years of modern Rust, I've never had a naked fucking spy on me to follow me back to my base. Never. Yeah, I'm almost. I think my balls are big enough to say that it never fucking happens. But I'm not gonna say that. The second reason is they don't have anything to lose, so they'll just rush at you to try and steal your shit, alright? And like I said earlier, if you can't handle a fucking naked with a rock when you have superior weapons, you suck at the fucking game, alright? Nakeds aren't a fucking threat. And I can say in my 4 years of Modern Rust, I've had nakeds rush me down to try and kill me at most, and I'm being generous here, at most 10 times. I've had them rush me 10 times. And the grand majority of those people who rushed at me as nakeds were Chinese players. Chinese or Russian, right? And that's a pretty good segue into another big issue. And most of my problems with Rust kind of only affect official servers. It's really only an official server problem, and the official servers have a real bad cheating problem. And guess who do it the most? The Russian and Chinese players. And it'd be one thing if it's like one cheater. But no, these cheaters group up in these big mega clans, and these mega clans dominate the server. And since everybody's too busy killing each other to actually work together, these mega clans will continue to dominate the servers because all the non-cheating players don't have the fucking like brains to actually think, hey, what if we grouped up to fight these common enemy we both share? No, they don't fucking do that. There's no such thing as diplomacy in Rust. None at all. And I shouldn't have to further elaborate why a bunch of fucking cheaters working together in one big clan and dominating the server is a bad thing. But here's the next segue, alright? There's no diplomacy in Rust. The devs clearly intended Rust to be like a role-play PvP faction war type game, alright? Clearly. Obviously, that's what the devs wanted. And if you say otherwise, you're fucking retarded, alright? Then why would they add all this fucking shit that they have been adding for the last few fucking updates? Why would they add this if that wasn't the intention? It's fucking retarded to say, no, Rust is a PvP game, it's just a PvP game. You're a fucking dipshit. If you're looking for a PvP experience exclusively, go fucking play Call of Duty. Like, get the fuck out of here. It's such a non-fucking argument to say that Rust is a purely PvP game. Yes, it has PvP elements, but that's like saying Minecraft's a purely PvP game. Get the fuck out of here. But there's no diplomacy in Rust. I can't say there's none whatsoever, but more often than not, people are just gonna kill you if you have something of value on you or not. And instead of using the logical human reaction like most fucking human beings would, and saying, you know, hey, we both got something that we want from each other. Why not we try and trade this shit out? Why not, you know, we go our separate fucking ways, or why not we split shit up and divide it? That way we both go back home with something of value. All right. That way we both benefit from this. No, there's none of that fucking shit most of the time. What's gonna happen is you're gonna be in like some type of fucking I don't know what they call them, monuments maybe. I think they call them monuments. Anybody trying to just scrap your shit, that way you can get fucking scrap metal, which is gonna be the next segue. You're trying to scrap your shit, and you be like, you hear somebody walking around, you be like, yo dude, I don't mean you no harm, I just want to scrap my shit, I'll be on my way. But no, they'd rather just kill you and steal your shit. Alright, and that's a good segue into the other shit. Rust is very, very grindy. Rust is such a large fucking grind that it takes forever to make any fucking progress. And again, this is only a really real issue in official servers. Modded servers and community servers are much more tolerable. And funnily enough, that's also the community servers have way less kill on site because it's way less necessary. But there's a popular phrase in Rust. I think it's called farming is for retards or something like that. And going out and farming yourself, as in like chopping down trees and knocking out stone and all that, farming and grinding yourself is stupid because not only does it take fucking forever, but somebody's just going to kill you and steal your shit. You're better off going to kill somebody who does the farming instead of doing the farming yourself. Alright? And the only reason why that's there is because it takes so fucking long to farm. And combine that with the fact that you need scrap for any type of fucking progress in the game, like as in you need scrap to do research so you can actually make shit. Since you need fucking scrap, it makes everything so much fucking worse. It's already bad enough that you need to fucking grind, and it takes forever to grind, but you also need fucking scrap all the while. It makes everything so much fucking worse. So instead of, actually making fucking progress, you're just gonna get killed over and over so people can steal your shit because it takes forever for them to do it themselves. So the grind and the scrap metal, just that entire system is the number one reason why players are kill on sight, is because there's just a small chance that you might have something of value that makes their progress take a little less longer. The grind is the number one reason why kill on sight is so prevalent in Rust. But the only other points I can think of is the PvP argument, or the argument that Rust is a PvP game, so you can't complain. You're just mad because you're bad at PvP. You can't use that argument when it comes to raids, all right? And the real big number one problem with raids isn't that they have it, all right? Raiding is a crucial element to the game, all right, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. And like I said, PvP, yes, it has PvP elements. PvP is fine. Player versus player is fine. I'm fine with PvP. I expect PvP, and I enjoy PvP. But what I don't enjoy is whenever I don't stand a remote fucking chance. I'm a fucking naked with a rock fighting a guy with an AK and a full set of armor. What the fuck am I supposed to do? It's nothing. There's nothing I can fucking do. At best, I can chuck the rock and hope that he was already on low health anyways. But when it comes to raids, and this is also another popular thing in the community, it's a community estimate that you need to play at least 8+ hours a day. 8+ hours a day to make any semblance of progress in Rust on official servers. Again, these affect official servers. But to make any fucking progress, you need to play at least 8+ hours. Alright? And that's also to make sure that you are the least likely to get your base offline rated. Alright? And that's the one big fucking argument, or one big example that shuts down the PvP argument, is that half the time people are going to attack you when you stand the least threat, alright? And then again, you can't say, oh, well, that's a smart thing to do. It's like, no. Because the same people who do this, who wait for you to go offline to raid your base, that way you can't actually defend yourself or defend your shit, these people that do that are the same people who want to use the PvP argument. So it's a PvP game. You don't get to use that argument whenever you're not even actually PvPing, but instead you're being a pussy and waiting when people aren't even on to fight back. And it's just pushy shit, alright? But I don't think there's any other points I can really point out. Those are the biggest reasons why I don't enjoy the game. But my personal suggestions is to try and discourage players from killing each other on site for no discernible reason. And the best ways I can think about that is some type of reputation system in-game where the more players you kill, the more likely an NPC tank or NPC helicopter, or just NPCs in general, come to attack your base or some shit. I think that'd be a pretty good way to discourage that. But every time I've suggested that, the community members wanted to get on my fucking ass and say, you just mad because you're bad at your game. It's like, no. Alright. But if you, and I did look at the fucking Face Punches trailers and shit, and they had like a softcore mode where if you get killed, you get like half of your inventory you had back, which that's fine. I could live with that. That's understandable. But ultimately, that doesn't change the fact why you get killed so often in the first place, and that's because the grind takes so fucking long. And ultimately, I think it's trying to loophole around the actual problem that people are having here. But ultimately, I could live with getting half of my shit back on death, because I could understand that. I could live with that. I can bear with that, alright? But ultimately, that doesn't change the fact that you're still going to get killed on sight no matter what, if you have shit or not. Because people would rather kill you to steal your shit than go grind themselves because it takes so long. So, honestly, I think it's pussyfooting around what the actual issue is, but ultimately, I do think that that's a pretty decent compromise, is getting half of your shit back on death. But I also think a good way if we're not gonna make a reputation system or something like that where NPCs attack you, I think another good way is you get half of your shit back on death, but also if you kill a lot of players, you should lose more shit on death. That way, it's a pretty good way to discourage people from blindly killing each other for no discernible reason. Again, I'm just suck at the game, and I'm gonna say this before people fucking accuse me of it. No, you're just mad because you're bad. In before. Yes, I know I'm not the best at Rust, and yes, you can say that I just suck at the game, but ultimately that doesn't change the fact that this game is just not fucking fun to play. Whenever all you're doing is getting killed over and over for no reason, when there's no discernible benefit to getting killed. But one thing I can say that's very good about getting killed on sight over and over is that it's a very good way to gatekeep the game, and I think gatekeeping is a very good thing. But with that said, if you like the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. If you hate me and my opinion, please tell me in the comments down below.